As many of us are reviewing our vision and goals for 2024, no matter whether we are working our tactics by quarter or longer, we all could use a bit of motivation to move us into this new year. Ray Cash Care is that guy. He's a former Navy SEAL veteran with multiple tours and other numerous overseas security details. Upon leaving the SEALs, Ray turned his passion and his team experience to the world of self-improvement and team building. His focus is really in fitness, building high-functioning teams, and organizational transformations. And his work has been featured on many different platforms, like the History Channel, titled The Selection, the Discovery Channel's Ultimate Soldier Challenge, and even the BBC in the show Ultimate Hell Week. Ray is the founder of Conquer, a leadership and team building program that's designed to push you physically, mentally, and emotionally for individuals to break through those personal barriers. I'm going to tell you right now, this man is absolutely no fluff. He doesn't just preach and teach. He's going to get right in there with you. And me personally, I have a special shout out for Ray. Ray was my accountability partner for my 90-day alcohol-free step I took in Q3 of 2023. I couldn't have done it without him. So this episode is very powerful, and it was aired on June 19th, 2023.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is everybody comes and they think the issue that they have is just like physical, but the mental and emotional that's the icing on the cake, right? Like I talked about it before. It's three-dimensional. Society almost shuns you to be like, if you say you're mentally, emotionally weak, then you're stereotyped as being a bitch. I don't think that's the case. I think the case is you just aren't educated enough on how to strengthen those things. What we do in our courses, we break men down to the bare essentials and we build them back up physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, spiritually. Financially isn't what I do.
Before we get into this powerful interview with Ray, let's stop for a second so that my friend Tyler can share an important message.
Hey, it's Tyler from Cross to Bear. I just wanted to go ahead and take time to say it's December. We're having a concert April 12th, 2023 with Disciple and Decipher Down. But in honor of Jesus' birthday this whole month, or the first 500 tickets are going on sale right now for $5 off. Eventbrite, search Darkness Will Fall, Fayetteville, North Carolina. And any help we can get, thank you.
Leaders are not born in a womb. They are forged through heat, pressure, and a tremendous amount of sweat. The Fire Forged Leader podcast serves the audience through exploring leadership at work, in the community, and with the family, using a practical perspective and real-life experiences from the host Steve Baumgartner and his guests in The Forge. Now, it's time to enter the Forge with the Fire Forged Leader.
Ray, welcome to the podcast. Really appreciate you coming on, brother. It is an honor and a pleasure to have you here on the Fire Forged Leader podcast.
Thank you, sir. I'm excited to be here. Got some swag. I like it.
I appreciate that. Those are come straight from my kids' business. So,
and I love the coasters. The coaster are actually downstairs. I mean, who wouldn't want to put a beverage on my face?
I got one on my face in my office too. It's absolutely awesome. It's like it's a magnifying glass, right?
I love it. I
So
love it. Well, thank you. I appreciate, and the wife appreciates. She took the He Has Risen mug, so that meant a lot to her. So thank you. Appreciate it.
definitely, man. I appreciate that. Nah, she likes that. So, anyways, I got to tell you, man, when I first reached out to you, it is simply because I saw this tree trunk looking sumbitch, right? And he's got his finger in these other men's faces and he's yelling at them. And these guys are just like, I don't know, totally enthralled with you. So that's really when I reached out to you, because I really, I like different kinds of leadership, right? This podcast is really devoted to making stronger leaders in the home and their communities and in the workplace, of course. And I just really, it caught me, right? And then, after you said yes, I started researching you, and I'm like, oh my God, this guy's done some stuff here, right?
And I appreciate that. And, I know we'll get into it, but the type of leadership that you noticed and a lot of people recognize me for is what I call the last line of leadership, meaning these men have tried everything, right? Some of these men and they have vices, and all human beings have vices, but it could, whether it's drugs or alcohol or porn or this or that, or lack of this or self-sabotage, they have tried everything. But make no mistake about it, they know what they're signing up for. And if you see me getting in someone's ass, right, it's not because I hate them, it's because I love them. And I've been there and I've done that. And, social media, it's a love-hate relationship, right? And this is what I get. I can't believe, people pay you $15,000, $18,000. They don't pay me anything. I get paid per class. It's Bedros Keuilian's class. He's the genius behind it. And I'm actually not even with that program anymore. I was the lead instructor. I've stepped away. I'm doing other things now, which we'll talk about later. And it's not ill will or bad feelings. It's just I have grown and moved on. And Bedros has been my mentor. He said it was time, like I'm a bird, right? I had to fly away finally. And there's another SEAL that's going to be replacing me, and that's fine. Will he do as good a job as me? I hope so. Probably not. I'm just kidding. But, the social media, everybody's like, there's been a few videos out there. And I just, there was one of me on a one wheel smoking a cigar. I had a fractured foot. I wasn't even supposed to be there. But instead of staying home and the boss was going to collect the paycheck, he was like, what can we do? I'm like, well, I can either take a unicycle or this or that. And he goes, I got this one wheel. So I learned how to ride a one wheel. I smoke a cigar every class to pay respect for the fallen. That's why I do it. But here's the thing. I'll say this on the podcast, but when everybody's hating on me and they're, a real leader would be crawling in the trenches with them. Make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. When I went through SEAL training, those instructors weren't going through Hell Week with me. They've already done it. They weren't doing the 8-mile ocean swims, and they weren't running 14 miles. Or what will happen is one will do one segment of it, and then one will go to something else. I'm one of the few Navy SEALs that still get in the water in the ocean with individuals. So my point is, to all the haters out there, keep hating, because you only see and know what we allow you to see and know. That's what I love and I hate. I literally post these videos, and I don't want to be rude or grotesque, because it gives me something to do when I'm taking a number 2. That's my wife, because usually I'm like in and out. And she's like, are you in there? And she'll get on, she'll see me. I call people sissies. But what's funny is, like I said, kind of circling back to the real meat and potatoes. This is last line leadership. This is people that have decided in their life they're going to stop making excuses. They're going to start making solutions. They've tried everything else. It's kind of like a tough love. So for the people that say, you would never talk to me like that, or I'd punch you in the face, these are the individuals who are probably going to be in the same place in 1, 3, and 5 years, still bitching, moaning, griping, and aching of why they're not where they want to be. And the individuals that actually took action, right? They, instead of wishing and wanting, they started making and taking action, because that's how you become successful, right or wrong. wrong or right, just do something. They're trying this. And these men are paying money, and make no mistake about it. Everybody's like, you should let me come for free. Okay. Well, truth be told, it takes just under $7,000 to run you through a course. They're like, what do you mean? There's insurance. There's food. We have to pay instructors. We have to pay for flights. We have to pay for this. We have to pay for gear. And so I should pay you to come out. Well, what do you mean? If you come, it costs $7,000. Well, yeah. And I should pay your flight. Yeah. So this is someone that doesn't want help. They want a safety net. And then
they want to be a critic is what
they really do. And here's the thing, right? Why do we make people pay so much money? What people don't know is we give a lot of that money away to charity. I make a lot of money doing other things. I'm part of a gun company. I speak. I make a ton doing that. The reason why we do it is because you got to have skin in the game, right? We were talking about being a Christian before. I didn't have skin in the game. I was guilty. I would pray when something was bad, right? I would pray when it's convenient. You know what I do now with my wife? Every night we pray at dinner. Every night, no matter where I am on planet Earth, ask anybody, we pray. We get together collectively as a family. I was actually at a meeting the other day. We were at some steakhouse, and somebody came up to me. I said, hey, I'm praying, beat it. And they were like, sorry. And my wife is praying, and we do that. But you got to have skin in the game, no matter what it is. And I feel that the best skin in the game that you can have is faith, starting there. And we just had this conversation. That's new for me. It's learning. It's a learning curve. Believe me, I'm far from where I need to be, but I'm a lot farther than where I was. So I try to find the good in everything. My wife actually speaks at her church. I go to church I got a feeling I'm going to be going there for Father's Day. I know we were there for Mother's Day. That's okay. And we have a great pastor, Pastor Hank and Trevellis, who are amazing people. They actually had me do my 22 push-ups on the minute, every minute for 2 services in a row because the topic was resiliency. I didn't know that they were going to put me center stage with the light on me. But yeah, it's so what I'm saying, and I know this has been a long intro, is you have to have skin in the game if you want to get somewhere where you're not right now. You have to believe in yourself. And here's the thing. You don't have to be a Christian. I have a shirt that says, I bet on me. Bet on yourself, believe in yourself, because I talked about this on the live today. They don't want to see you succeed. They don't. They want to see you fail. Now, there's 2 types of theys. There's also the theys that have succeeded, and they are not going to give you the milk for free. They are going to make you pay for it, just like we talked about, because they want to see that you have skin in the game. Because I did a test with my daughter. My daughter wanted a pair of, they're called Golden Goose shoes, like my wife. They're a $600 sneaker. Now, I could have bought them for her, just like I buy her Vans for her, and they're dirty in a week. Or I said, you know what? I want to see you put some skin in the game. What do you mean, Daddy? I want you to save half. You save up $300 from babysitting. Daddy will pay the $350 with taxes. She goes, okay. Those shoes, Steve, are 2 years old. They're immaculate. They're immaculate. They are immaculate. You know what her Vans look like? Shit. And you know why? Because she had skin in the game, and I'm teaching her the value of $1, and I'm teaching her the value of herself. And this is what we're doing at these courses that I do, whether it's the father-son course, it's the Operation Black Site, the entrepreneur course that we're doing with Tim Kennedy, Michael Chandler, Bedros Keuilian, and the list goes on and on. If I'm doing it at speaking events, or most importantly, I'm doing it home with my wife and my family. Because if you're preaching it and you're not doing it, you're a hypocrite.
Right.
So I was a hypocrite for a long time because I was saying it, but I wasn't doing it. I was talking about having faith, and I believed in myself, but I honestly feel, listen, I'm 51. People don't have to agree with me. And to be quite honestly, I could give a flying shit if they do or not. But I honestly believe that you have to have a higher power than yourself. Whether it's the SEAL teams, but I feel again, I know I got to watch what I say. I feel there's no higher power than the man upstairs. Me. You don't have to agree with me. I will never talk about politics or religion on my own personal site, but I'll come on yours and, drop the words of, the big man. And I'm a late comer. I'm a late blossomer to it. So, I'm trying to be better. And not only that, but I think it's bringing me and my family together stronger and spiritually. And we just do a lot of things. I get a lot of advice from my pastor, like case in point, family time. What we do now is there's this, I'm going to tell you this. This is like almost therapeutic for families that are always on the go, is we order this thing. It's called like the Green Chef. It's like these meals that come pre-prepared. You just have to cook them. All the seasonings are there. You do everything. So what we do is we get 3 meals a week. I pick a meal. My wife picks a meal. My daughter picks a meal. If we pick the meal, we are primarily in charge of cooking that. Like my daughter can only do so many things, but we cook that. And then what we do as a family is we put the phones down. We turn on Alexa. We listen to music. We jam. We have fun. We cook. We say our prayers. We eat. And then whoever didn't make the meal, the other 2 clean up. But for about an hour and a half, the phone is away, right? And we're just talking, kind of like we did when we were kids, when you didn't have these damn cell phones. And, look, I've got 2 of them right here, man. This is my work one. I don't even turn it on. I just use everything on here. I couldn't handle it. So that's who I am. That's what I do. That's why I run these courses. And I'm going to continue to run these courses. And right now I've kind of branched off more on the speaking and just the fitness for the corporate groups. So that's who I am.
Nice.
Oh, I need something to drink. I went off.
That was a passionate intro. I appreciate
it. It is. I'm a passionate guy, man.
I absolutely love that passion. And that's what's really drawn me to you. But also before I get on to the other part that drew me to you, I think, if we go back to the beginning of that and, you having your finger in the face, that intrigued me because, I've done some work in some men's groups and different things. And I think we can both agree that people need accountability. Everybody is out there blaming someone else for their own failures right now. Yep. And that's really what's attractive to your program, is that it brings that accountability.
Oh, yeah, baby. You got nowhere to hide in mine.
Right. You gotta take ownership yourself. So going back a little bit, right? I mean, Ray Kerr has been a man in the making for 51 years, right? And it hasn't been an easy road.
No.
So can you kind of bring us into your, what made the man that's sitting in front of us today, the Navy SEAL, this, CIA, the man who is just, I wore this shirt for you today.
I like it.
Because this reminded me of you. But a guy who just goes out there and crushes it every day, teaches other people how to crush it. What made Ray Kerr?
Pain. That's it. Horrible childhood. I was abused in a lot of different fashions. But I obviously feel that pain equals growth. Growth equals power. Power equals knowledge. Knowledge equals profit. All I do is profit from my past pain. I teach people, try to teach people, to, instead of avoid it and run from it and hide from it, to address it, attack it, name it and claim it and tame it. That's what I do. The pains that I've gone through, I don't wish that I don't wish anyone on. I mean, there might be 1 or 2 people. No, I'm kidding. But you have 2 choices in life. You can continue to be a victim, or you can change the narrative, right? You can flip the switch, flip the script, look at, I have so many analogies, my glass isn't half empty, it's half full, right? I have so much more.
Right.
People that continue to, because they were abused, they would become abusers, or people that just decided, they're people that wait for the glass to be empty, or people that are just waiting to die. And just because something bad happened to me doesn't mean I have to do other bad things to people. So pain, and I don't, now that I say it, I know it sounds horrible. I'm thankful for it, As horrible as that, people are like, what is wrong with you? It sounds easier. It sounds easier coming out than it actually is. But I honestly think pain can make or break you. And for me, it made me. I wouldn't be half the man I was if I didn't have the pain in my life. I don't think I would be as driven. And I'm a relentless SOB in everything I do. You have to be. I honestly feel that life is a blessing. You won the lottery since the day of conception. I don't know how much, I don't know the actual number, but how much sperm is released when when two human beings are having intercourse. But all I know is it's a lot. And for some reason, you and I won. We won. So that put me into a life of pain. But instead of sitting there going, boo-hoo, poor me, I was like, man, I won. I had to win for a reason. There has to be a reason why someone chose me. I'm not a fast swimmer, even as a Navy SEAL, but damn, I was fast that day. It's either that or no one else wanted it as bad. That's how I look at it. I've been that guy, right? Versus who's wanted it since the day of conception. People were like, "You're insane." Fine, but I honestly believe that. People were like, "You are extreme." Okay. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with being extreme? What's wrong with thinking that on that day of conception, I was the best? I was. You were. Everybody that's watching was. I mean, you hit the lottery. The chances of doing that are like hitting the lottery like 2 or 3 times in a lifetime. You're already ahead. So instead of sitting here booing and bitching and moaning and complaining, I go, why did he choose me? We all had the same, boom, let's go. Everybody started the same starting line. Only one.
So now it's a choice, to take those lottery winnings and do something with them, or go squander it like half the people do with the lottery, right?
Well, I think the reason why people squander is because life itself has become complacent. I have coaching clients that don't even leave their house. They can work from home, shop from home. They don't have to do anything. I have a lady that I was coaching not too long ago. And I know when I say this, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to sound cold-hearted. But remember, last line of leadership, 300 and some pounds. And she's like, I'm overweight. I'm like, no, you're not. You're fat. Because she's tried like 12 other people, and they all said that she was just unbearable and unreasonable, and she wanted results that were unrealistic. I want to lose 150 pounds. Okay. Well, what are you doing? Well, I don't know. What do I do? Well, obviously, the complete opposite of what you're doing now. She goes, well, that's not any coaching tips. I'm like, okay, well, what do you do? Well, tell me what your normal day is. I get up and I have Dunkin' Donuts delivered. Well, stop. But I can't. I need it. No, you don't. You want it. Stop it. So I worked with her a little bit, and then I let her go because she just, had an excuse. Like I said, she was a victim. I'm overweight. I don't like when you say I'm fat. Well, don't be fat.
Sometimes the truth is the truth, right?
But before we left, I had her ass getting up, jumping in one of her Porsches, driving to the grocery store, getting her groceries, and she would go fast. You know why? Because she didn't want people to see her. But guess what she was doing when she was going fast? She was burning calories. She was losing weight.
Right.
I got her down to about 100 pounds. She's not where she wants to be, but she looks a lot better. Now, some people think my methods are cruel, but this is what I'm going to tell you. Sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, cruel gets the job done. Because too many people want to be coddled and think it's acceptable to be overweight. Because this is what I tell individuals. Fitness is the rawest form of discipline you'll ever see or meet in your life. You're married, right? Yep. I'm married. So if you sit here and tell me when you first met your wife, you were attracted to her personality, you're full of crap. You were attracted to her physically. And that's because no matter what that is, you saw a form of discipline. Maybe her nails were done. Her hair was done right. She dressed great. She had a great body. I mean, I'm not talking about my wife now. I want you to think I'm talking about your wife.
No, you're good, man.
The eye contact, everything. It's discipline. That is the key. Because people ask me all the time, Cash, I can't believe you're almost 52. How do you stay in shape? I never got out, mother effer. I never got out of shape. I never did. I started working out when I was 14 years old. Do you get tired of working out? Hell yes. Are there days you don't want to get up? Hell yes. But what do? I get the hell up.
Keep on going.
I do, man. Steve, I get people that ask me all the time, 100 times a day, what's the secret to passing SEAL training? 2 things. Don't get injured, which happens. Like, that's just luck of the draw.
Yep.
And program yourself just not to quit. How do you do that? I visualize. I visualize everything. I stand in front of a mirror and I grade myself on my family, my fitness, my finances, and my faith. I do it every week. My wife does it. My daughter does it. My son does it. And all I did was visualize my life if I was a quitter. So all I do is I put the word quitter across my face and happen to tell my son and my daughter that I was in the Navy. Dad, did you ever want to be a SEAL? Yeah, but I quit. Now, in the same sentence, I'm the biggest quitter you'll ever meet. But I quit all the negative BS in my life, not the good stuff. Right? I quit the porn. I quit the drinking. I told you I might have 4 drinks a year. I barely drink. I quit the this. I quit the that. I quit the, running around, all the stupid stuff that men do. I don't do that anymore. And I'm more in tune with myself. And I think individuals, I'm a car guy, or we're machines, and I'm running at my optimum capacity. I'm maximizing, this combat chassis. We have combat chassis, whether you're a 6-cylinder, 8-cylinder. Man, I'm a 12-cylinder machine, baby. And I'm running hard. I just got done doing a mile swim. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm going for a mile run. And I already worked out today. It's got to be done.
Nice.
Success waits for no man or woman. It loves and hates everyone equally. I say this with all due love and respect. I don't care who you are, what you believe in, what you do. You have to be fit. You have to be fit. You don't need to be Mike O'Hearn and Phil Heath, who are great friends of mine, but you need to get up and move. Just, how do you make change? By changing. That's it. People are like, that makes no sense. Yes, it does. Whatever you're doing, if you don't like where you're at, evaluate yourself. And I guarantee you can create a POL, which is a pattern of life. Write down all the things that you're doing during the day that puts you in there's 3 colors of emotional disciplines of humans, red, green, and blue. What puts you in the red, what puts you in the blue. And after about a month of that, all you do is you start once a week cutting out one thing that makes you mad, one thing that makes blue, that makes you disassociate, until you literally have this beautiful path with all this extra time where you can do ... And for me right now, it's being a better father, husband, lover, provider, protector, hunter, whatever it is, because it took me about 50 years of my 51 years to realize that my why is not my wife. It's not my kids. It's not my job. Me. If I want to be a better version of me, if I want to be a better husband, father, lover, all those things I just told you, if I want to be a better believer in the man upstairs, I have to understand me. I have to be a better version of me. I cannot do those things without being a better version of me. It's a direct reflection and representation of who I am. How can I be a better husband and father if I don't believe in myself? How can I be a better lover? How can I be a better anything? It all starts with faith. Whether I tell everybody, you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in something bigger and better than you. If you do that, you've got half of the world's problems solved, because most people don't.
So I'm a big believer in vision, right? So I believe that there's 2 points that you need to know to go on any journey.
Okay.
You need to know where you're starting and where you're going. Otherwise, you're lost, right? So what does your vision look like? What does that man out in the future look like that you're striving to be like, and why you're cutting all these negatives away?
The man that I'm striving to be is just a man of clarity. I want to be a man that is, because everybody says you can't be passion driven, you have to be purpose driven. Why can't I be both? Why can't I have them both? Why can't I have passion with what I do and have purpose? I do what I love. I love guns. I'm part of a gun company. I love working with kids. I work with kids. I love teaching an entrepreneur class with a bunch of the who's who of the world. I do that. I love being married to my wife. I do that. I love being a father. I do that. Why can't I? That's the thing. Too many people settle. what kind of a man would I be? A man that never settles. Too many men settle. And listen, settling isn't having a 9-to-5 job, making $60,000 a year, providing for your family. That to me is an exceptional life. Now, I see all these people on social media that are flashing their cars around and stuff. That's great. And you know what? I hope everybody can have that. But I know people that are happy with just their lives the way they are. Now, no matter how great your life is, I think you should always strive to do more, be more. It doesn't have to be. Success isn't always from a monetary standpoint, right? I think success is my definition is helping others help themselves. I think the best way that you can help people is giving them your time or advice. I don't want your opinion. Like if you tell me how to be a Navy SEAL and you weren't one, that's an opinion. Doesn't mean anything to me. Right? Maybe if I want to start a podcast back up, I might talk to you because you're doing that right now. That's advice. But I want to be a man that is purpose and passion driven. I want to be a man that never settles. And I am never going to look back on anything that I'm doing. Hold on a second. I got to write this. So that's where I am. That's who I'm going to be. And I'm going to have clarity and I'm going to have vision. So that's what's going to happen. And no one or nothing will ever stop me.
Yeah. That was powerful. I like the passion and purpose all at the same time.
Yep.
Yeah. It's so, so often do people, okay, I'm married. There's no more to it, right? Me and my wife, we get along. But bringing that passion gets you to that next level. It gets you to the marriage that you always wanted, right? So switching gears just a little bit, I'm really curious. You have the Navy SEAL background, you have the CIA background. How do those worlds really translate to, marriage and to community and to the workplace? I skipped out on the military because I was too busy doing all sorts of other shit I shouldn't have been. But
listen, you have a SEAL team. We're in life. You have a ST, SEAL team, success team. So how does it relate being a part of a team? If you're married, you have to be a part of a team. And you need to understand what team means. It's not together everybody accomplishes more. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. I say this in every podcast. But if I put a thumbtack on the ceiling with 20 blind people and I tell them they have 10 minutes to find it, they're never going to find it.
Nope.
Trust in yourself. Trust in the people that you surround yourself with. Trust the mission. Effort. I don't want 100%. I want everything you have. It's that simple. A is attitude. There's only two types of attitude in this world, Jack. Good or bad. They will open or close a door faster than anything you've ever seen. And a good attitude is only going to get the door cracked. Bad attitude is going to get that door shut in your face. And M is mission. And there are 6 forms of mission on planet Earth. I know Tony Robbins has like 21 different avenues or whatever it is, but I have 6. Physical, mental, emotional, social, spiritual, and financial. Now, for the listeners that are listening, spiritual can be from the man upstairs, but it also has to be here, believing in yourself, mind, body, and soul. So how does that apply to life? That is life. That is life. You have to trust someone, even if you're Lone Wolf McQuade, if you're Kane from Kung Fu, they have to trust yourself. Effort, you have to give me everything you have. And that's the problem with society today. Everybody gives a piss poor effort and a piss poor attitude, and they're going to get piss poor results.
Right.
And that's the thing. And then obviously mission is growth. The key to life is growth. If I had to sum up life in one word, it's growth. That's all I want out of life. Physical, mental, emotional, social, spiritual, and financial. You notice which one's last? Financial. I said that for a reason. Because if you dial your first 5 in, the money will come. What does everybody do? They go right to number 6. Right. They bypass the things that are important. Spirituality, being a man, a father, a husband, a mother, a sister, whatever. Being leadership is three-dimensional. It's physical, mental, and emotional, right? You can be the greatest leader in the world. When you see me yelling at these men, I'm at peace. I'm like Muhammad Ali. When I'm screaming and yelling and you see Instructor Steve screaming and yelling, we're not mad at all. We're actually pouring into these men. We're pouring our hearts and souls in these men because we know that we are the last line of defense to save them from getting back into that bottle or taking another pill or cheating on their damn wife or jerking off the porn, pardon my language, because these are the problems that men and women, and it's a two-way street. Women do this too. Like, hey, I'm an equal opportunist. I have coaching clients that are women that are sex addicts and addicted to porn and addiction, you know, and all guys, like, you know, you hear the stories of like teachers sleeping with young. I mean, it's, you know, because porn has created this fantasy world of what intimacy should really be. Right. I mean, It's billion. It's almost, I mean, I don't know how much it's worth, but people live in this facade of what real love is, and they live in the world of lust. You know, listen, and I'm not going to get nasty. I'm as much as the next guy. I like the wife to dress up and have things, but you can't do that all the time, right? Love has many different shades and avenues, right? You have to be there, just like with the growth, physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, spiritually, and even financially. There is love, right? And that all falls with team, trust, effort, attitude, mission. So how does the CIA and the SEAL teams relate to life? That it's the same. I use the same exact principles, concepts, lessons learned, trials, tribulations, and F-ups that I've learned in the SEAL teams, and I apply to my real job, which is life, you know? And I think people, and when I say people, I don't care who you are. I don't care what color you are. I don't care. I don't even care if you're he, she, shim. I don't care. If you're a great human being, then I love you. And if you're a jerk, I don't. That's how I tell people. I hate when you come to my courses, I hate everyone equally because I need to have that type of hatred to pour into you. I can't, like, if I like you, I would be doing you a disservice, you coming to my course. I have to hate you. I want to know as little as I can about you so we can dig inside and figure out what's going on, right? Name, claim, and tame, because humans deal with two things. They deal with the inner voice and they deal with the toxic cognitions. The inner voice usually turns into the inner bitch. That voice, the 60,000 thoughts that you have a day, 48,000 of them are negative. It's usually with your family, your fitness, your finances, and faith, your 4 non-negotiables that I have tattooed on my hand right here. But then you also have the toxic cognitions. That's demons, pain, turmoil, chaos, trauma. Make no mistake about it. People try to kill the wrong things. You can't kill a demon. You can't kill that. If you were physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, spiritually, financially, and sexually abused in some fashion, that's going to be with you for the rest of your life. What you can do is name, claim, and tame it. Yes, I was physically abused. Yes, I need to understand what my triggers are with that. There are certain places I can't go, certain smells that trigger things that happened to me as a child. Guess what I do? I avoid them. I respect them. I'll respect you, but you respect me. And I do that with him. Listen, I'm going to avoid this place. You need to give me the strength to do that. And he does. But how do I do that? I pray to him every night. I don't pray to him when it's convenient. I don't pray to him as a last, we told you, I'm a last line of leadership. I don't pray to him when it's my last line. I'm the leader himself. That's exactly what we do. Now, I'm not comparing myself. Let me preface it. I'm not saying I'm comparing myself to him. We're both last lines of leader. That is a much bigger thing. I am just a small pupil to help him do what he does at that level, right? That's the CEO, baby. That's CEO. I'm middle management. I'm middle management. I want to make that very clear because I don't want people going, you are, no. I'm saying that the big man does it upstairs and he has management. I don't like to use certain biblical words. He has different levels of management that do that, you know?
Right.
And I am a middle management guy that is making a difference with middle and upper class human beings. Um, and I'm going to continue to do that, whether people like me or, I get I wouldn't listen to you, you're short. That's what you're coming at me with. All that is someone, when people say things like that, I want to hug them because I know it's a cry for help. It's a cry for help. And this is what I'm going to tell the American people listening. When you're truly strong, when you're truly secure, when you truly believe in yourself, you can truly become vulnerable with yourself. You really can. Like, I get emotional. It's okay to tell other human beings you love them. It's okay to make mistakes. It is. It's okay to cry as a man. I didn't cry I didn't think it was okay. When I started figuring out what was going on, I remember one night, I don't care if anybody judges me or not, I just sat in front of my wife and just cried. Now, I wasn't crying about anything. I was just more of the past, because a woman doesn't want a man that cries. I'm not like, but it felt good. She's like, I didn't think you even knew how to cry. Now, I'm not a big crier. I don't do that, but it felt good. It was just the years of built up. I don't even know what the word is for it that I had. The built up, just tension. And it was great, and I shared that with her. But I was like, but I've also heard the same thing. Men should never cry in front of a woman. I don't think a man should cry in front of a woman about every single thing. But I think if a man's vulnerable and he's willing to share that with his wife or someone then it's okay. There's a time and place for everything. But when you're vulnerable, vulnerability, I think, is a true form of strength. Now, I didn't say, don't take advantage of it. Right? Just like, I've done TV shows where I said I would hate the word empathy. I don't hate the word empathy. I hate the word empathy when people misuse it. Poor me, boo-hoo, blah, blah. My favorite's when you go to the store and I see people with food stamps driving nicer cars than me. That's
I get you.
Me off, right?
So the name, claim, and tame thing is something that I absolutely love. I know I shared a little bit of my past with you. I was a child of abuse, adoption. Got into drugs real bad, things like that. But I really, you look at a lot of different programs, and a lot of people take that military approach, to break people down and then build them back up. But you and Bedros do something different. And that's that whole portion where you really get to the emotional luggage, or whatever you want to call it, of that human being before that build back up. And I want to take a minute out and talk about that, because I think your guys' programs are exceptional because of that portion, that pinpoint.
Well, thank you. Yeah. I mean, the problem is everybody comes and they think the issue that they have is just like physical, but the mental and emotional that's the icing on the cake, right? Like, I talked about it before. It's 3-dimensional. Society almost shuns you to be like, if you say you're mentally, emotionally weak, then you're stereotyped as being a bitch. I don't think that's the case. I think the case is you just aren't educated enough on how to strengthen those things. What we do in our courses, we break men down to the bare essentials and we build them back up physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, spiritually. Financially isn't what I do. I don't do that. I'm not in the business of making people rich. I'm in the business of building better human beings. That's all I do. How do you do that? 99% of the time, it's usually a mental and emotional block they have, something from childhood, trauma, turmoil, chaos. All we do is we go in and we start micro-tuning those things. Number one, let them know, like, listen, if you were abused and molested, it's not your fault. You're not alone. 1 out of every 4 men in America have been touched or molested in a way. I'm going to leave it at that. Men are abused, right? It's horrible, right? A society we live in today, and back in the day, people didn't talk about things. Nowadays, everybody talks about fucking everything, pardon my language. Now you get me mad. So how do we do that? It's just, same thing, like how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. But we can't do that without these individuals coming, understanding that there's a process. And the process isn't fixed after 75 hours. It might not even be fixed after 75 days. I love I love Andy Frisella's 75 Hard. He's a very good friend of mine, but it should be called Life Hard because life is hard,
Right.
right? The thing is you got to put in the work every damn day. All we're doing is we're giving you the checks in the block to make this happen, you know? And then from there, it's up to you to figure out what you're going to do with that. And you can do something or you can do nothing. Now, I can't, and I hate that word can't because you take off the apostrophe and the T, you got the word can, but I can only lead people to the water. Right? I can only lead a horse to the water. I can't, and I won't, and I'm not going to make you drink it. I won't. Like people are like, oh, I got a buddy. He's got to come to my course. Well, if he doesn't want to come to the course, I don't want him because
Right.
I don't want people to want to come to the course. I need people to need to come to the course. There's a difference, right? Like SEALs, people that want to be SEALs. How do you become a SEAL? You got to need it. I want to be a SEAL. Well, that's not enough. What do you mean that's not enough? It's not enough. Wanting is not enough. Wanting is part-time. Being obsessed, being driven, being the most relentless son of a bitch on planet Earth. That's how you're going to get it done. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I literally believe that I'm 7-Eleven. I never close. Rain, sleet, or snow. I don't. I won't. It's not going to happen. And that is how you create that mental, emotional, and physical discipline and strength that you need to be better. It's that simple.
100%. 100%. So just a little personal story, Ray.
Mhm.
I got Jocko-ized right here a while
Yep.
back, worked with Jocko, but I looked at myself, you know, and I got that chance to be introspective like that. And
Mhm.
I was 320 pounds. I sat around. I watched TV all the time. I wasn't interacting with my family, and it hit
Mhm.
me like a ton of bricks,
Yep.
right? Just all of a sudden came crashing down on me. And it was that desire at that moment that I had to move. So I dropped 80 pounds, right? And it was
Yes.
just relentless. But how do you build that kind of, you know, that was an experience for me, right? It was an external experience. A lot of people don't have that in their life. And I feel like sometimes we're all, you know, in that Wall-E movie, you know, where we're all sitting around in the floating chairs watching the TV, or,
Yeah.
you know, the Matrix, where we just need to unplug. How do we take the everyday public and unplug them?
I don't know.
It's a hard one, isn't it?
I don't know. But let's address the elephant in the room. So of the 80 pounds, how much weight have you kept off?
Right at about 67 of it. But I also did work on some conditioning as well. So
So maybe you've got some more body, some muscle, lean muscle mass. See,
Yep.
Here's the thing. I tell people anybody can take the weight off. That's what I tell people. People are like, no, you can't. Not everybody can keep it off. Now, the symbolism of that is with everything like that. It has nothing to do with your weight, right? Anybody can cheat on their wife and then say they're not going to do it again. Very few say it and then actually do it. There's people that say they're never going to take another drink of alcohol, but they still do it. Like me, I'll take 4, but I don't have a drinking problem. I never have. I just toned it down because I made a decision about 6 years ago when I had a New Year's Eve party, and I wasn't even bad, but my daughter was young at the time, and she saw me. I was just loud and obnoxious, not to her, not rude, but she told me that she didn't like seeing me like that. I have never had a full drink in front of my daughter since then. And she even now says, Daddy, you're fine. No, I'm not. I never want her to feel like that again, where she was like, Daddy, you were just kind of crazy. Like, she's little. She was almost scared of me because I was loud. I don't, that's not my role in life. My role, I don't need alcohol. I don't need porn. I need to make sure that my family loves me, believes in me, isn't scared of me. I'm ashamed of that. So now, will I go on a vacation with my wife and have a margarita or two? Yeah. But you will never see me get behind a wheel. I won't even take a sip of alcohol. I won't even take a sip. That's discipline. I won't, I try not to pollute. And the reason why I do this, and make no mistake about it, is the reason why I'm the way I am is because I am a control freak. I am a control freak. I control what time I go to bed, what time I get up, what I put in my body, who I surround myself with, what clothes I wear. I control the amount of money that I make. People don't believe that. I do. I control it. What I can't control is when I get in the car, what's going to happen to me. If I get in a plane, what's going to happen to me. So the more I can control, I'm a control freak and I love it. And that makes me an alpha. And you know what a real alpha does? He doesn't do this. His actions make other people want to be like him or her. That's what an alpha does. I want my friends that drink too much to stop drinking. I want my friends that are out of shape to get their asses in shape. And I'll tell them, Ray, why don't I look like you? Because you drink too much. Because you eat like shit. Because you have no regimented workout in your program. Because you have no self-discipline. You self-sabotage yourself and you keep telling you that tomorrow is going to come. There's not going to be a tomorrow eventually. And my thing is I live like there's no tomorrow. Get up, tell people you love them, PTFO, put the fudge out like it's your last day on earth and get up and do it again. And if you do that, it's not 1% better every day. Just be better at something than you were yesterday. I am never going to be 1% better every day in my family, my fitness, my finances, and faith. I'm not. There are times when I have to focus more on the finance, more when I focus on the family. I don't even believe that there's a perfect balance. I just believe that whatever you pour into, you can't neglect the other things. During 3 or 4 months of the year, I am on the road. When I'm home, I'm literally home a day, then I'm gone again, then a day, then I'm gone. I'm gone for a week. I pour into my family, and they understand that. But then when the downtime stops and we've got the money and we're going on a vacation, let's go. And I just rediscover my wife and my daughter. But that's what works for us. And that can work for you too. Be a control freak. Be an alpha, right? Go through your, like my whiteboard over here. Go through the whiteboard and write down things, people, places, and things that are affecting you and putting you in the red zone or blue zone and cut them loose. You don't need them. You don't need them. Trust me. I've cut an immediate family out of my life. Yeah, it hurts. Yeah, it stings. So what? So what?
Yep. Wear it like an asset from here on out.
Yeah.
That one hit me a little bit there.
Good. I hope it did. Keep that weight off. Because if I find out you put on weight again, I'll call you fat. I will. And you know what? I don't say that because I'm cruel. I say that because I care. And that's the thing. People get it twisted. If someone's calling you out, 99% of the time it's because deep down they care. If you surround yourself with the right people. I don't just walk down the road saying, hey, you're fat. But if someone says, hey, Ray, do you think I'm overweight? Yep. I sure do. Right now, I'm 6 pounds overweight. That's why I'm swimming and running.
Yep.
How can I sit here and talk to you about this if I'm not in the best shape I can be in? Can't do it. I'm a hypocrite. I refuse to be a hypocrite. Too many people get on these social media platforms. They talk it, but they don't walk it.
100% agree. You see the headshot, right? When they stand up, they look like an eggplant.
Yep. I make sure you stand up. I'm built.
Yeah.
Got abs.
I'm not built like that, but I'm not built.
All right.
Like
But you know what? It's work in progress, baby. You've
That's
lost
right.
80 pounds. Your journey, you've struggled more than me. Nothing wrong with that. But, struggle, suffer, but you're still succeeding. I love it. That's success.
Oh, it's been awesome. So I want to tell you another little personal story here. And I think the TV, the porn, the everything else, right? People in this world just need that noise. So I was adopted, my adopted dad, I'll tell you about the prodigal son story in my own life someday with my adopted dad. But anyways, this man is amazing, but he used to never listen to music.
Mm-hmm.
And I always thought that it was weird. My older brother thought that it was weird. And the other day, my 6-year-old daughter, she goes, hey, Dad, can we sing whatever the song was, right? It's a Christian song.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, baby, I don't know that song. And she was so offended. And I stopped to think about it. And I don't listen to the radio anymore. I don't watch TV anymore. I mean, I go on social media because I'm promoting this platform, right? But I'm like, wow, I don't even realize that I cut those things out. The TV was intentional. The radio, it just kind of went away.
Yeah.
But the reason that I came up with is I'm all right with myself now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need all that noise to drown out all the bad crap, right? So I don't know why I needed to tell you that, but
All right, brother, that's what it's about. It's about, saying what comes to your heart, what comes to your mind. That's the thing. Too many people hold shit in. Can't do that. Got to have a release. People need releases. That's why people, listen to the noise. They don't know because the noise they think fixes the problem. All it's doing is prolonging the real issue, right?
Agreed.
When you got your shit dialed in, it's dead silent. It's dead quiet. You're at peace. That's when you're truly dialed in, right? You're at your perfect frequency. We have ultra high, high, and low frequency. There's a time and place for each one. You can connect.
Damn, you summarize that nice.
But it's true.
Yeah.
I did some radio stuff in the SEAL teams, and you can hit certain channels and people on certain frequencies, and then others on this one. So my thing is be well in tuned with all three frequencies, right? The physical, mental, and emotional. That's the frequencies of life.
Right.
And once you do that, I think you're more at peace with yourself, and then you can really start. Because the trick is the more you make, not just financially, but the more you make, with your growth, the more you give the wisdom, give the knowledge. Don't give it for free, not to everybody. To a very select few you do, right? Like I told you, I don't give anything away for free. People need to have skin in the game.
Right.
I believe that if someone doesn't truly need to be a part of something, then they'll just be like, well, let me just have it. Well, what are you going to do with it? Like, the people who want to come to my class for free. Why do you want to come? Just want to see what you do.
Yeah, that makes no sense. That's just like the people that you talked about on welfare, right?
Yep.
Those cars that are nicer than yours right now, in 2 years they'll be junk because they have no skin in the game. Well, Ray, I want to be cognizant of your time. We're rolling up on an hour. I know, you need to be with your family and, really pour into them like you stated.
Mm-hmm.
Just heartfelt thank you, man. I appreciate you for being on the podcast. Did want to ask you, where can people find you at? What kind of programs are you running?
Yeah, so you can go to my website, raycashcare.com. I'm part of Operation Black Site. That is a year-long mastermind with a who's who on planet Earth. I could go on with the names. It's 3 different meetups in Temecula, California at our 20-acre facility with a year-long mastermind with the best in the business. That's a $20,000 program. I'm doing the Squire program, which is father and son. If you are a father or a male and you have a young man between the ages of 10 or 11 to 16, it's a 15-hour course. That's $1,900. We give a lot of proceeds to Shriners for that. So we don't really make any money off that. And then I do my speaking. I speak to corporations. I can either come and do motivational speaking, which I'm an elevational speaker. I don't motivate people. Or I can come in and do corporate days with Steve, and we do some other training and programming like that. Hit me up at Ray Cash Care on Instagram, Ray Cash Care on LinkedIn, Ray Cash Care on Facebook. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
Awesome. So for everybody who's watching this on YouTube, got the link right down in the bottom. Hit Ray up. Amazing, amazing person. I can't say enough about him. Great individual. God bless you, brother. And
Thanks,
once
sir.
again, appreciate you being on the podcast.
Thank you so much. God bless.
You have just experienced the heat and pressure of the Forge. Remember, words without action are meaningless. Now, after the heat of the Forge, shape your thoughts, quench your brain, then put your new tools to use, adding to your leadership. Tune in next week for more lessons from the Forge.